and welcome to Rooted in Yad, where I talk about what it's really like living in Jamaica so that you can know what to expect and how to thrive if you are planning to make the move here. And today is part 3 of my advice about whether you could or should move to Jamaica. So I've created videos about whether, in terms of figuring out whether Jamaica is aligned with your vision for your life. This series is more practical tips of things I think you should really think about before you move here, things that maybe nobody tells you, that you should think about before you move here. So I'm going to link the previous videos, parts 1 and 2, in the description and in the comments. I think part 1, especially if you haven't watched it, is important to watch either before or after this video because it goes through your residency options and options for citizenship and stuff like that. Essentially your route to stay in Jamaica permanently. I think you'll probably find that really helpful. But in this video, I'm going over some more practical things I think you should consider before moving to Jamaica. But at the end of the day, by the way, everything is figure outable, okay? Everything is figure outable. I'm not making this to scare you or nothing. I still live here and I love it here and I'm not planning to move. But as I said, I think there are some things you should consider because I don't want you to come here and be surprised and stuff like I was. Okay, now the next thing I think you should consider before moving to Jamaica is, I think I'll call this your patience level. How seriously do you take things? And why am I mentioning this? Because there is going to be a lot of foolishness you're going to encounter here. I mean, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe you won't encounter this or encounter it so much, but there's a lot of foolishness that happens. And as I said, Jamaica is great to live in, right? I live here. I love it here. I think it is a privilege for me to be able to live here, for me to have been able to move from Canada to live here in Jamaica. The day I created this script, I ate some breadfruit. In fact, I still have some breadfruit in my freezer right now, right? The other day, I had fresh ackee. Fresh. And then I had soup with lobsters in it, with an S. Do you know how expensive that would be in Ontario, Canada? That would be very expensive to have lobsters and so many of them just in soup, And that's just a regular day for me here. And then the sunsets here, beautiful. They're absolutely beautiful. The Caribbean sunsets, right? But all that to say, you are going to encounter some, as much as there are things that are really nice and can make you feel at ease and at peace, there are some things here, some situations that may frustrate you, right? That may make you upset, and might probably raise your blood pressure because, as much as Jamaica has become a lot more developed, there's just still some foolishness here. Some of the corruption, how you have to pay people sometimes in order to get through quicker or at all. I actually think that's not unique to Jamaica. I'm saying this, but that's not unique to Jamaica. I think that's unique to I think that's common to a lot of developing countries. So I hear. So it's not just Jamaica, but it's still in Jamaica, right? So that's something to consider. Or how you have to kiss behinds in order to get things done here sometimes because people love to go on power trips. And they know they're going on a power trip, right? Because they know that you need them. And so they want to go on a power trip. Or maybe some people maybe won't treat you as well as others because they don't think you're dressed well enough to look to have money. It's disgusting behavior to me, honestly, but it's a part of things here, and it's a part of that classist culture here because Jamaica is still quite classist. It's not, I find it's not that bad, but in some instances it can be very, very annoying. Or even the customer service. The average customer service in Jamaica is, there's a stereotype that is terrible. There's a stereotype for a reason, right? I've found that managers and supervisors tend to know what they're doing and tend to know how to give good customer service. If not decent, they are giving good, excellent customer service, right? And I know that not every Jamaican gives poor customer service, right? There's a lot of Jamaicans who give excellent customer service, but that's why they tend to be working for other companies remotely and stuff and not in Jamaica. But anyway, the average customer service here is quite poor, and that will probably upset you if you're not used to that. I try not to get upset at the the people who are giving this service, because like they're trying to do their job, and they likely aren't getting paid well enough to even care about doing it well. So, you know, like I mainly get upset with the companies themselves. But it is a thing. I'll give you an example of what I mean. So I watched a video the other day from a TikToker. Her name is Your Auntie Pat. She's a white lady, a white Canadian lady who lives here in Jamaica. And she talked about how she went to, I don't know, I remember it was some service center she went to here. And they've been like giving her the runaround. And I think it's the only place in her area she can go to for this particular thing. And they keep giving her the runaround, and she's had a lot of challenges with them. So she went there, she went to the place, and she was joking with the agent there, right? And she said something like, you know, this is my least favorite place to visit. And you know, the lady actually looked her in her face and said, and you're our least favorite person to see. Like, what? And like the person, she said the lady was like deadpan serious, because I guess the company or whatever, the organization had seen this lady's videos on TikTok talking about the poor service and all the challenges she's had with them and all the terrible experiences she's had with them, and I guess they don't like her. But like, this is what I mean by poor customer service, because what you mean you're gonna say to me I'm the least favorite person that you see? Like, some people will say some out-of-pocket things to your face and not care. And like, even the utilities, Lord have mercy, they will upset you. They will. As I said in one of my, I think in one of the previous videos, I think it was the last video, about like Water Commission, the National Water Commission, they're the only supplier of water, at least water through the pipes here. And I'm like, I don't know what they're doing as to why the same issue keeps coming up over and over with like the same part, it seems, but like having no water for like 4 to 5 days, just upsetting. And that wasn't even that bad, because on Facebook, there are people in the comments like, I've been without water for 2 weeks. 2 weeks and ongoing. What are you doing? This is why I'm saying upsetting. Or like JPS, that is the Jamaica Public Service, the electricity, the sole electricity company in Jamaica. They are hella expensive right now. I think Jamaica right now has the most expensive electricity in the Caribbean. Like the prices are the most expensive in the Caribbean, I think. Or like, you know, I don't know. It's like because they've made some bad decisions or something like that with sourcing electricity. That's why it's so high. Like, these things are going to upset you. Or the internet. The internet flow. Listen to me. If you can avoid flow, avoid flow. There are a few internet companies in Jamaica. There is Flow. There is Digicel. Digicel has fiber optic cable, so they tend to be better. And then there might be like a smaller internet company here and there, but really it's Flow and Digicel. And then if you want Muskie Man's internet, that's available here, but now there's a surcharge price on it because everyone's trying to get it because of the state of the internet. Yeah, if you can avoid Flow, maybe avoid Flow, because the outages and like the intermittent, how intermittent it is sometimes, or like they say they're giving you a certain speed and they don't give you that speed. Or the other day they were like, oh, the other day my bill raised. Ooh, did I pay that? I'm gonna pay that after this video. The other day my bill raised. I was very upset. Yeah, and they raised it and I didn't feel they gave adequate notice, and they're like, oh, it's because we give you higher speeds. Higher speeds where? So this one, like, there's stuff like this that's going to upset you. But like, is that something you can get used to? Like, I mean, maybe over time things will get better. I think they slowly are, but like, are you willing to deal with that until it does? Right? Like, these are some of the smaller things that you have to think about. And I think the last thing I'm going to mention today is disability. Do you have a disability, or are you moving to Jamaica with somebody who does? Because if so, depending on the disability, you need to be aware that Jamaica is not very accessible, right? The roads are mashed up with potholes that only get fixed during like election, or if some kind soul goes out of their way to patch up the holes themselves. The sidewalks are also usually mashed up, you know, and uneven. A lot of businesses don't have ramps and such. The point is, I haven't really seen very many accommodations for persons with disabilities. Oh, I saw something funny the other day. The other day I went to this store. They were trying. It was like one of them stores you pay, like a hardware store or something. I went in there and I could see there was a ramp. It was a wooden ramp. But the way the ramp was, I'm just like, how is anyone with a wheelchair, how do you expect them to get up and down this ramp? Because I think there was like a ramp, I think there was like a gap between the ramp and like where it was supposed to go, and then it was still a little higher and lower. I don't remember what it was. I should have taken a picture. It was quite funny to me because I'm like, I can see you're trying, but how is anyone supposed to I don't know how anyone was supposed to, if someone had a wheelchair or needed a ramp, I don't know how they were supposed to use that ramp. So this is what I mean, like you kind of have to think about that. I haven't really seen, in a lot of places there aren't very many accommodations for persons with disabilities. I mean, like Kingston is the capital of Jamaica, right? And it is more populated, so maybe in Kingston, because I haven't been to Kingston, I haven't lived in Kingston, I visited there once or twice for like something very brief and then left. So I don't know about Kingston. Maybe Kingston's more accessible, but in Mobay and Tourist Central, oh, I don't know about that. And in like cities smaller than Mobay, I don't think there's that much for accessibility. Now I'm not saying people won't help you. That's not what I'm saying. Because I have found Jamaicans generally to be very kind, right? Very kind and helpful people. But it's just there aren't very many. In terms of the systems and stuff here, there isn't very much for accessibility is what I'm saying. So that's something that I think that you need to consider or think about if you are planning to move here. But at the same time, like I'm just telling you what I see, right? If you're a Jamaican watching this and you have seen opposite to what I'm talking about, please leave it in the comments, because obviously I don't know everything. I barely leave my house. I can just talk about what I see and what I've seen, and what I see are like the mashup sidewalks. You get a nice little paved sidewalk for a little bit, and then there's like mashup sidewalk where it goes into the road abruptly, and then the roads kind of mash up. You know, like it's just, you know, so yeah, but okay, that's it from me today. I'm going to end it here for today. I hope that you found this video helpful or informative or at least entertaining. If you did, do hit that like button to let me know. But I do want to hear from you. As I said, I hope this didn't scare you. I'm not trying to scare you with anything that I'm saying about Jamaica. As I said, I love it here. I consider it a privilege that I have the opportunity to move here. I had the opportunity to move here and to live here, right? I consider this a privilege. But I need to let you know. I need to let you know like the real deal about like what I see and like what things you should consider. These are the things that people didn't tell me. These are the things I had to come here and learn on my own that I think people don't talk about. And this is why I'm telling you about these things. So I'd love to know, you know, what your thoughts are. If you still want to move to Jamaica, or like, you know, maybe like what, because as I think everything is figure outable. Everything or almost everything is figure outable, and these things are certainly, the things I'm talking about are certainly figure outable. So, you know, is it something, do you now have a plan about like, yeah, I want to move to Jamaica, but I'm going to prepare in this way? Like, it's things like that. I'd love to know in the comments. Let me know. And if you're planning to move here or even just to visit, don't forget to get your freebies, okay? I created these to help you give a head start on things like what to bring, what to expect. And I even created a whole calendar, a whole Jamaica calendar, so that you can figure out the best time to come to Jamaica. So it includes things like, you know, the seasons, the Jamaican holidays, the events that are going on in Jamaica, the days those events are going on in Jamaica. So if you want to come to Jamaica during a time it's more busy and more lively, or if you want to come to Jamaica during a time it's quieter, like you can kind of book your ticket based on that. Keep in mind that, you know, some dates may change and stuff, but like you'll get a general idea of when things are more lively versus when they are not. So if these are things you're interested in, the links for those will be in the comments and in the description. And if you want even more support, I've created a few resources to help your transition here go even smoother. So the first is the Moving to Jamaica Starter Guide. It is still available at the point of me releasing this video, still available for early access for only $10. For that price, you're not just getting access to parts 1 and 2, you're gonna get, because I'm releasing things in parts, you're getting access to everything, but parts 1 and 2 are available. They're about 51 pages, so that's a lot of information just for parts 1 and 2. I think it'll at least give you a good start while you wait for the rest of the parts to come out. There will also be a table of contents on the website so that you can see what else I will be releasing, like what you can expect for parts 1 and 2 and what else I will be releasing for parts 3 and 4. So yeah, it's just $10. If you want it for that price, go ahead and get the early access price, or get it for the early access price, because once it's complete, the price is going to raise. So the second thing I have for you is the Clarity Workbook. Technically, it's called the Life You Want Workbook, but the whole point is to help give you clarity. So if you're not really sure if Jamaica aligns with your vision of what you want for your life, like maybe you have a certain way you want to live your life, or you feel you want to live your life, or you have certain goals for your life, or maybe you're not even really sure what you want in life, and you're like, you know, is moving to Jamaica going to help me or hurt me, or is it going to help me or like not really do anything for me? This is probably going to be something that will really help you. This is based on my process for figuring out what I want out of life, which is what led me to Jamaica. So if you would like that, the price is only $5. For that price, you're getting access to the printable version and to the version that you can fill out digitally. And then the last thing I'm going to mention is my Grounded and Growing journal. So this is a guided space to help you focus, stay grounded, and move forward with intention in your day-to-day. This is also based on the way that I currently journal, and it has been helping me like work through my, I don't know, feelings of frustration and stuff like that, but also it helps me keep intentional based on the goals I have in my day-to-day. It helps me keep intentional in my day-to-day when it comes to those goals, and it helps me keep focused on my goals. So if you're interested in that, you can get it. It is only $7. So you'll find the links for everything in the description and in the comments. In the meantime, I appreciate you being here. If you like this video, do subscribe so that you don't miss what's coming next, and I'll see you in the next one.